Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the CrossFit ETHOS Podcast. With me are three very cool, unique, and awesome people that you will get to know in just a little bit. But we're just going to start off with a round of introduction. And if you don't mind, we're going to go ladies first.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So,
I'm Ashley. I've been part of CF 1229 in Makati and also CrossFit MOA. And recently I've been coaching at G Technica in Pasay. So over the past few years, I think I really struggled just like everybody else during the pandemic with, not being able to go to the gym or to have my normal workout routine. So I was coaching online, running some free workout classes for women, also doing some personal training, and then, recently got back into CrossFit at G Tech.
and the gentleman to your left.
Hi, I am Boogie. I started CrossFit as a member of CFMNL Alabang. I interned there for a while, and then we opened up, I was with Job, opened up Central Ground CrossFit where I was a coach. During the pandemic, I actually veered away a bit, away from CrossFit. I studied more of sport-specific training, strength and conditioning training. Now, I am actually helping out the Philippine men's ice hockey team with their off-ice training. Yeah, that's what I've been up to past few years.
And last but not the least, the gentleman to your left.
Hi. Hello, guys. I'm Josh. I've been coaching for 8 years now. I started actually training under you guys in CFMNL Makati 1229, the Fort Box, an army gym, Avant-Garde CrossFit. And then when the pandemic hit, I had to go back to the province because all gyms were closed. I kept working out, not really competitive as I used to be. And then now I'm back because of this team.
I'm back.
My name is Joe Bui. I've been doing CrossFit since the beginning of time, immemorial. No, I'm just kidding. My first exposure to it was actually in 2012, and I've been working with CrossFit Manila since then. And then just a few years ago, before the pandemic, we opened up Central Ground, Merge CrossFit, as well as Habitat CrossFit. And then since the past few years, especially when the pandemic hit, I've been working with personal training online as well as in person. And in the most recent months, I've been working more of consultancy work. So I've been working with boxes in the provinces, people, CrossFit gyms, new and old, just try kind of reform or develop whatever they currently have. So this is CrossFit Ethos. You are looking at the four personalities that will be taking over the floor and most of the operations, or will be the faces that you'll see in your classes and any of the coaching bits that you're going to experience. And we're just going to do a quick round of a very important question, actually. What do you guys think will be different about this box that we're bringing? And what lessons have you learned from your previous experiences, as we've just enumerated them, that will be new lessons for the box and the community? So Josh, we'll start with you.
I'll go. So my experiences in the pre-pandemic coaching, since I was coaching different boxes, what was common, there's a program, the program was good, but there was not that much of communication to the members and the macro or the big picture on where the program is going. It's mostly train for GPP. And then when there's a throwdown, there's a small group on the side on the participants, and then they tweak the program for that one. But what's new now with our team is that we'll educate our members more on how the program is broken down, in 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 8 weeks, what is the priority, and then the others are still in maintenance. And then what I like is we'll be having What Up, so technology is into it. So
if we were to kind of paint a picture of you, Josh, as a coach of our CrossFit classes, or even personal training, or any segment of the box, really, how would you paint yourself as a coach? What is your CrossFit ethos? We are CrossFit ethos after all.
It's changed after the pandemic. I guess I'm still as passionate as before, but right now I don't want to be just telling the client or the member what to do. I just like to guide someone on the side and then just help them find the answers for themselves, and not just really spoon feed everything. Because the biggest mistake I'd make was I'd say something, but not really knowing that it might not work for this individual or this small group. And now I realize that people actually step in the gym are relatively like already, how do you say it? Like they have their goals in mind and then they're ready to crush them because they're already motivated for growth. So sometimes you have to tell them how to self-regulate instead of like pushing them all the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
My question to you is, with your experience as an athlete, how does that translate into what you can share to the community, as well as the people that will be under you? I mean, obviously the community, but also the team.
It goes both ways. Like being a competitor made me a better coach. And coaching also made me a better competitor in terms of like number one, competing. I went through all the progressions. Like I'm sure you know like how much I looked a few years back, almost a decade back to now. Like I had to go through progressions. Yeah, being a coach makes you accountable for good movement. You have to show good movement. So you have to work on your mobility, everything else. So it also makes me a better athlete in terms of moving the right way, which is gets you the results you want, not
Nice.
just smashing, right?
I want to touch on the community aspect of CrossFit. Like a big and integral part of a CrossFit box is the community that is built. When we were starting CrossFit here in the Philippines, I think it was really a niche market wherein most of the people who stayed are the ones who would compete. Diba? And of course, we have the usual day-to-day people who would just go there for fitness. However, as the boxes grew, it kind of stuck in that competitive side. Height of CrossFit here was around 2014, 15, 16. And I think the difference that we could make is to offer CrossFit to the people who are not competitive.
Yeah,
like it's bringing it back. It's bringing fitness to everyone else. And what we would want in CrossFit Ethos is to actually invite everyone to do CrossFit, not because of the competition, but it's because it's really good for fitness and health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think boxes right now are shifting into that mindset. Like it's not all about the competition, but you can still kind of see that in boxes there are still cliques. And I'm a person who just likes to talk to everyone. And I do not, as much as possible, I don't want for certain people to only hang out with their group.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we want to change in CrossFit Ethos.
Yeah.
It's the community building and everyone's welcome. If you don't know anyone, for sure, first day, you're going to talk to someone, something like that.
So you're very community oriented. Would you say that that's correlated to how you would paint a picture of yourself as well? So what is your coaching ethos?
I like working with newbies. I like to see them progress from not knowing anything, not being able to move well. The goal is to actually be efficient in all the movements, of course. So for me, it's all about, I like to be the friendly coach. I'm someone you can just approach and I will treat you the same as if I knew you way back then or I just met you today. That's how I see myself as a coach. In my eyes, you're all the same.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So would you say that part of your advocacy as a coach is to encourage people who feel that they are limited by their schedules or their outside work, like the 9-to-5 job, to actually engage themselves, not just in CrossFit, but also like in a healthy lifestyle?
Oh yeah, I mean, right after the pandemic,
Yeah.
I'm sure that a lot of people are now more into their health.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes a lot of people still don't know how to be healthy.
Sure.
I think that's the value of coaches.
Yeah.
Is they're there to help you out, tell you what to do, help you in your goals, and to actually push you.
Yeah.
If you do it on your own, sometimes the motivation is just not there,
Yeah.
and you just fall short of your goals.
Yeah. So we've got an athlete perspective, and then we've got the advocacy on being a 9-to-5, and the commonalities of just like still focusing on wearing the coaching hat when we do have the coach. But we've got these different perspectives, and as you can already tell, how diverse and versatile our team is, and it's about to get even more diverse. But just something to look forward to, right?
I think it's really important to enjoy the journey of CrossFit. Like when you step into a gym, there's kind of this focus on getting to the end result. Like you want to be thinner, you want to be stronger, you want to lift a certain weight. But I think what's going to make CrossFit Ethos different is that it's going to be a really enjoyable experience. The whole process, the programming is going to be top notch. Everything is going to be fun and, like Boogie was saying, community oriented. And it's just going to be about, enjoying every moment of being in that class or having the best hour of your day in that CrossFit class. And even though CrossFit may seem intimidating to some people, the reality is it's scalable to any level. So even if you've never worked out in your entire life, we have a program that's going to work for you. We have something that is going to work for you and is going to help you achieve your goals. So I'm just really excited for people to experience that, for people to learn from us and to just enjoy the process.
Yeah. What is your thoughts on women embarking on this journey of fitness, especially through the methodology of CrossFit?
Well, the point of CrossFit in general is to get you to a point that it benefits you, not just, in the gym and your strength PRs, but also keeps you fit for life. So things like, picking up your kids, carrying groceries, those things all get easier if we are fit. And that's especially important for women and everyone as we age, right? Muscle loss is inevitable as we get older. Injuries and, bone density decreasing is inevitable as we age, but we can kind of reverse aging or at least delay the aging process, thank you, by doing exercise and by doing CrossFit specifically, because we have endurance, we have weightlifting, we have metabolic conditioning, we have all these things that are going to make you a stronger person, not just in the box, but outside of it as well.
How does your life being a CrossFit coach and your training for yourself as an athlete or a person who practices CrossFit affected your work outside of the gym?
I actually kept doing CrossFit because of my job. So when I first came to the gym, I was there for a month and I absolutely hated it.
Sure.
And I think that, I don't want to say it's normal, but it can sometimes happen because CrossFit is, it can be a change to what you're used to doing in the gym. Sometimes we don't like change and we just, we don't like it at first. So at first I was really like, this is not for me. I don't know if I can do this, but I paid for a month, so I'm going to give it a try for the month. And at that point, I realized I have to keep doing this because I have to be stronger for my team and the animals who need me. It's something that has really benefited me when doing disaster relief or just doing our day-to-day operations where we have to lift a lot of heavy sacks of dog food or carry dogs or whatever it is. It's really prepared me for any challenge that comes about in my work.
I love that. It's basically, when one of the lines of CrossFit is it prepares you for the unknown and the unknowable, right? And I feel and as everybody's been saying, it's just really focusing on our people and preparing them for the quality of the lives and just improving that quality of their lives as well. Me, on the other hand, I'm really more on looking at CrossFit Ethos as what I would bring on the table as a more of a holistic experience. Much like you, Josh, I started out as an intern. Actually, I was coach intern guinea pig 001. I was I remember my first ever thing that I had to teach was a towel pull up. And I was like, how the hell do I teach a towel pull up? And what progressions do I do? And what functionality do I give with it, right? And so that's where I started. And then I became a head coach. And then I became a competitive athlete as well. And then I've elevated into this position where I do consultancy to work with other gyms as well and coaches. So because that's the field that I've been exposed to, and unlike the three of you, I've got little to no other exposure outside of CrossFit in the past 10 years. This has just been my main job. And so coming into CrossFit Ethos, I believe what I want to bring onto the table and the lessons that I've learned in the past is it has to be a holistic, great experience. From the moment that you come in, I love the word that you used, the journey. So the journey of anyone who's part of a community, from the point that they come in to being said hello to the smell of what of the box, to what they see in the box, whether it's clean, to how the people look like, to how the people are treating them. That could mean from the admin to the staff to, the process of coming in and then bringing their bags or their stuff to the back and then being called into a class, what they hear and what they see, these are all part of it. And then, of course, once the class starts, what is the quality of the coaching that they receive? the two main words that I want to use for the quality of our classes is, are they seen and do they feel like they belong? And these are the two main things that I just really feel like is important to be dialed into, especially in the past few years where everybody experienced the pandemic and people went off on their own and they realized that group classes are very different. And once we got back into group classes, a lot of people realized like it's not as different from when I was working out by myself. And that's where people are wrong. People need to realize that group classes have a different vibe to it, but they should still receive the same quality of coaching, whether it's a ratio of 1:10 or 1:20. And I feel like with our programming, that's on the programming side, it's really all about what Josh was saying also earlier, educating our community, making sure that they understand what they're going to be doing in our classes, in each of our programs, so that they're self-functioning while we give that guidance. And then after the class is done, they get awesome high fives, follow-ups, making sure that they're also seen and that they belong to something bigger than themselves outside of the box. So when they walk out of our doors, that they don't feel like, okay, I'm leaving all of this behind. It's when they close that door behind them and they're going home or they're going to work or they're going elsewhere, they know that they belong to this community that's got their back, not just on a health and wellness aspect, but also on a mental aspect, a physical aspect. For me, one of the goals is really to make sure that our community feels seen. Like every single person is involved in a sense of like we know who they are and they know who we are. Recognizing what fires them up and then just riding on that, right? And so it's that holistic CrossFit ethos experience that we just really want to bring to the table. And that's what I want to dial in. And of course, with the three of you, of course, and myself, it's creating this coaching team that will shake the ground. I want us to kind of be on a level that is not just respectable. I think respectable should be not just a byproduct, but it's a prerequisite, right? But for us to be ground shaking, we have to be super professional as well. So much so that even if you have a 9 to 5, even if you have an advocacy, you are still a coach. You are not a coach part-time, you are a coach, period. And that level of professionalism, I believe, takes work and development. And that's something that I really want to dial in as well in our team. So much so that it's enticing to be part of the coaching team of CrossFit Ethos. And we'll have applicants left and right now. I'm just kidding. Maybe. I mean, we're open to it, right? We're a slim team for now, but we'll see where we go with that one.
Yeah, so guys, so we're gonna be opening up a box in Aqua. It's somewhere near Rockwell, and I invite you all to meet all of us and work out with us, and I'm sure you're gonna have a blast with us, yeah.
Whether you're a beginner or doing this for a while, I promise this is something new. Like even me, I've been a coach for almost 10 years, but I'm going to come in like with a white belt mindset, and I also want to surprise myself in how good this is gonna be. And then also, we're a partner of the Process Programming, right? So if any of you out there was thinking about signing up, we already actually have a physical affiliate under the partnership of the Process. So yeah, we'll be opening in a couple of months, and excited to meet everyone who's gonna sign up.
So whether or not you were able to keep doing CrossFit during the pandemic, if you had a break, or if you're just new to fitness entirely, I hope you come check out the box. It's going to be really exciting with top-notch programming, as Josh mentioned.
To everybody that has been part of any of our lives, or to the people who know our voices or know our faces, that we've ever coached before or worked out with before, we highly encourage you guys to come through. Or if you're a stranger and you don't know who the four of us are, you don't know what the process is, you don't know what CrossFit is, even more so, we'd like you to come over to Aqua Residences in the retail area. We're a pet-friendly area as well. We've got coffee coming up. It's a very aesthetics place. You can do your IG Reels and TikToks. We promise you a quality facility with just the best equipment and absolute cleanliness, as well as the best coaching that you're ever going to get in Metro Manila or the Philippines. Am I that confident to say that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Yeah. So hopefully we'll see everybody in CrossFit Ethos in a few months, weeks, or days, depending on when they're going to release this, really. But yeah, and thank you again to everyone. Thank you, Coach Josh, Coach Boogie, and Coach Ashley
Yeah.
for joining
Pleasure.
us today. And again, this is Coach Job signing out for episode 1 of the CrossFit Ethos podcast.